I'm thinking about Kev as well, because to watch Kev have to mourn his brother, who I knew that they were so close, this was also his manager.
But was it any when your brother passed, was there any malicious stuff that happened? Like was it any?
No, so this is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, this is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right? So,
sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and sicker and died. Okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour, and I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal. And the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling. Everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking. We were texting. We were talking about sports. And then my sister-in-law called and was like, "Your brother had a seizure." And I'm like, "What?" I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, "I'm just talking to him." And I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, I came home and I was like, "I'm going to go to my show. He'll be fine." And my wife was like, "I'm going to go to Houston. I think you should come." And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying, and my nephew called me on the plane, and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone. Wow. This was the last time he was alive. I'm talking to him the night before. We made the New York Times bestseller. Look, thank you, Richard. So it's the highest high. Like that day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him, and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember. So, and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family. So now all of a sudden, I've got to help his wife, his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden, even though we're all sharing the same pain. I'd only been to 2 funerals before that. The third funeral was my brother, and now I have to pay for and plan it. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've never done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I still got to be my own husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still got to show up. You know, that's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like, I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
But I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so vulnerable on such a large platform, because this is taboo for men. This is taboo. This is uncharted, untouched territory. Cry? What you mean cry? Be a big boy, right? This is why I am so adamant about creating safe spaces for men to be able to feel out loud. I am guilty of being in spaces and expressing myself and giving disclaimers before truly expressing myself, for fear of it not being a safe space and what comes with that. And I've gotten better at it. But I think the biggest takeaway from this is that, number one, if you are a young man watching this video, or if you are a parent and you have a child, especially a son, people have crucified me for saying especially a son or especially a boy, because when they hear that, they automatically think that I am putting women on a lesser platform, or young women or young girls. I am degrading them by emphasizing a very well-known struggle for young men. I am not intending to do that. We're just simply focusing on one group of people. If you are a young man watching this, and if you are a parent and you have a young man and you have a son, please make it your business to create a safe space so that they can express any emotion in any way that they deem necessary, so long as it is physically safe. Because the world that your son is growing up in, and the world that he will eventually become a man in, will not do it. Will not do it for him. I'm stammering saying it because I've had, unfortunately, many experiences like this, and I've encountered young men who have taken on the mindset of holding it in for fear of how they may see us if I truly express how I feel. I want to encourage you, young man, young brother, listening to me right now. Find a space to where you can express however you need to express, whenever you need to express, because trash in stays in. Okay? You got to get it out. None of us are meant to take on all of the weight of the world at one time. Another really big takeaway that I want to give to all of my legacy labbers is that KevOnStage is highly successful, but it took him a long time to get to the status that he's at right now. This is why it is of the utmost importance to be processed through whatever journey you're on. And when I say processed, I mean you take your time to be developed, because look at how he is reacting to this, being as successful, taking as long as it's taken him, being as successful as it is. This is a challenge that comes along with life. Did you hear the last part that he said? In essence, he said, life doesn't stop. And you don't just wake up and be able to do that. That's a skill. That's a skill. That is something that you work toward. That is something that you build stamina for. Can you imagine, KevOnStage, if you watch this video, please respond to it. How do you think you would have dealt with this had it been earlier on in your career, where maybe you didn't have as much of the character development that the journey gave to you? Y'all, shouts out to KevOnStage for this. Beautiful. My brother, I stand with you. I love the Lord Jesus as well, and I'm praying for you and your family as you guys are navigating through what seems like, a very challenging time still. However long it takes, man, please continue fighting. We need you. It's a whole bunch of other folks we don't need. They need to cut their microphones off. They don't need to book another show. Respectfully, we need you, my friend. Well done. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis, affectionately known as your personal mentor. This is the Legacy Lab. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Before you go, hit the subscribe button below. And make sure you tune in next week for a brand new episode of the Legacy Lab. I'm signing out, but you already know. I'll see you soon. Stay legendary.